Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, January 16th, 2025. I have not showered since last year, and welcome to the Kiwi and Zoe's Pretty Good Show podcast.
Yep, that's Kiwi, our smelly little guy,
Yeah, yeah.
our faithful stinky friend.
Faithful, stinky friend. The world is going insane right now. Who needs to shower? Everything is fucked.
There's a lot. There's a lot happening this week.
We are about to initiate a hostile takeover of both Greenland and Canada.
That's true. That's true. We are going to be seeing the Gulf of America.
The Gulf
That'll
of
be
America,
fun.
yeah. TikTok is dying, maybe, probably not. But maybe
We'll
we
see.
don't know.
We'll see. I will say this is our episode where each of us bring like some sort of topic to the battlefield, right? I'm sure you've got yours. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know what yours is. I have, in celebration of the end of TikTok, or I guess in mourning perhaps, a list of events that happened on TikTok that I just want to sort of run through with you when we get there. Just a whole bunch of things that happened that were silly, fun, and worth remembering if the app in fact goes down in a couple days. I do want to know what your topic is.
Probably dating apps. That's what I'm always thinking about lately.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For
You
obvious
are
reasons.
you are a dating apps person.
Unfortunately, don't
A
say that.
a
That
victim
hurts.
of a victim of the swipe left, swipe right economy.
Yep, and it's a rigged economy. I'll tell you that much.
Other than that, the big thing I think we should, do in the sort of intro bit, before we get to the main topic. How'd those 5 dates go, Kiwi?
Okay, so 2 of them ended up not happening, but it worked out.
So how'd those 3 dates go, Kiwi?
It was completely strategic, right? Because initially I had 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. But the 2 that canceled, it ended up working out to where I had one on Friday, 1 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. So
That's pretty good.
I'm kind of like an airline where I strategically overbook, knowing that some aren't going to show up.
Yeah. I'm definitely dumb enough to believe that is your reasoning for why that happened and nothing else.
And so I still have a full flight, by the time it comes down to it, after some people don't show up.
Of course.
This was completely intentional. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen exactly this way.
Yes, well, obviously. Like, goes without saying.
One of the dates was good. 2 of them, one was good, one was bad, and one was weird. I'll say that.
Okay. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's hear about the bad one. How was it bad?
It was essentially, just kind of a bad date. Like
Welcome back. Nyxiecat has joined us. Nyxiecat, why don't you say hi to the folks at home?
Hi, I'm Nyxiecat. I pretend to live on the internet for my streams, but I'm a real girl who lives in real life.
That's not true. She does just live on the computer. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, Kiwi, you were saying about the bad date.
Yeah, okay, so I went on 3 dates this past weekend. 1 was good, 1 was bad, 1 was weird. We're starting with the bad one.
The good, the bad, and the weird.
The good, the bad, and the weird. I like that, actually. That's really good.
Thanks, it's from movies.
That's so true.
That's real.
It is from movies.
But yeah, so it was just a coffee date. I showed up, and she showed up, and she hugged me, and then from then on just seemed completely disinterested. And I genuinely don't know if she was disinterested or if that is just what she's like.
The hug threw her off.
I genuinely don't know what it was.
I mean, shit's weird. I don't know.
But like, all I could really get out of her is like, trying to talk to her about figure out what she's like and everything. And like, what I get from her is that like, she's a workaholic whose bosses have to tell her to go on vacation because she's like saved up too much vacation time.
Okay, so you don't want to date that person though, right?
Right. No, that is absolutely not my type. No.
I don't know. For me, it's kind of like a red flag. Like, obviously, I'm a woman, so like the power dynamics are different. But if someone is physically affectionate with me, the first time I meet them in person, that is a red flag for me.
With the hug?
Yeah, like, I don't know. That's like a weird boundary thing for like the first time you ever meet somebody. Like I get like you're on a date, but like I don't know, that's weird to me. But I'm also weird about touch. So
I mean, I've gone on several dates where like they've opened with a hug. I don't do that. I don't initiate it myself, but I don't really care if they start it that way. I mean, I was also like talking to her about like, oh, what do you do for fun? And if I ask someone what they do for fun and they have to sit there and think about it for a good few minutes,
That's scary. That person's some sort of homunculus, I think.
It is genuinely scary.
I think there's a case to be made that like, oh, like what's a like thing that I do for fun that would make a fun conversation. Because there's like a lot of things that I do for fun, but like I don't know how.
I mean me personally, and I put this in every web app dating profile I set up. I just like going on adventures, and I really like The Office.
That's funny. That's a good joke.
Thanks.
That's dating apps. Yeah, no.
I mean, like I tend to keep like my nature as a gamer out of like dating profiles.
That's fair.
Oh, I don't. I need that to be up front because I'm not going to bother wasting time talking to you if you're going to like see that I play video games and immediately like not like me anymore because like I can't. I'm not going to be in a relationship where I hide that. Like that's just part of what I do.
Well, okay, again, like consider I'm a girl, so like the connotations of a gamer girl attracts like a different kind of guy than
Yeah,
and women don't care if you're a woman gamer.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but anyway, that date was bad. It was bad.
With the bad one out of the way, now I gotta.
Well, okay, no, I wanna add.
Okay,
After
okay.
the date, I texted her, and I'm like, hey, it was good to meet you, but I wasn't really feeling much chemistry between us, so like I don't think it's a good idea to continue this. And she just hit me back with the feeling was mutual, and then blocked me on everything.
That's
Awesome.
so fucked up.
No, I mean, like, it's fine. I think it makes sense. I think it's pretty normal. I was literally going to unmatch her on Hinge when I saw that she had already unmatched me, so, like,
Yeah,
it's fine. I just thought that was a little funny.
It's a little cold.
it can be multiple things. Now I do gotta ask, what was weird about the weird one?
Well, so, that was also a coffee date. This was the next day.
Okay.
And, well, she was 35. She's 35, which, whatever. I'm 25 for the record, for those who don't know.
Baby.
But, she showed up. She was like, I didn't even realize she showed up. She was at the door, like, because I was like waiting in my car for a bit. She said she was almost there. And like, I get in there and I'm like, I was wondering, like, where the hell did she park? Because like, there wasn't much parking here. It's like I had to park on the street a little ways away. And, come later to find out she had Ubered there. Because her driver's license got suspended because she got a DUI.
Cool. Good start.
And then she kind of went off later about like how she had previously married an emotionally abusive ex so he could like get papers in the US and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, this is a first date. So that was weird. I'm seeing her again on Wednesday.
God, you're so good at this, Kiwi.
I'm honestly just curious as to where this goes, because like, she asked me to like show her like gym stuff, and so we're gonna go to the gym together. And I'm just like, okay, sure, whatever.
That could be a interesting date. I don't know.
I hope things go well. I think I joked last time about we concluded last time rather that you don't get spleen stolen on a first coffee date, but I think there's high chance of spleen stealage during the second one.
In the gym date? I don't think so. Anyway, I have 3 dates for this coming week.
Kiwi, you gotta stop.
Wait, no, 3 for this weekend, 2 more next week. No, 2 for, I don't know.
Fucking,
2 for this weekend,
you're
2
fucking
next
booking
week.
dates like you're a goddamn salesperson trying to...
I'm trying to find something. And it's like, I'm done. I've gone through the point where I waste a bunch of time on one person, talking to one person, and then like, they go off for 2 to 6 months and being like, oh, we're gonna be serious at one point, but like I just need a little bit more time. And then like 6 months into it, I get the I'm not ready for a relationship text. I'm done. I'm done. No more of that shit. I am like I'm gonna go with however many at once I need to go with.
Quantity over quality.
Exactly. Perfect. Well, sure. Although from what I've kind of gathered, it's lower quantity does not necessarily mean higher quality. So,
oh, well, yeah.
There you go.
I mean, depends.
On?
Factors.
Such as?
Circumstances.
Like?
Oh, circumstances.
Events.
Fucking dumb.
Actions. Consequences.
Like I said, the one date was good and it was completely, like, normal. So...
Do you have a second date lined up with that person?
Yeah, not this weekend, but next weekend.
You're also going to the gym with them?
No. Dinner.
Oh, dinner. Fancy.
Where at?
Just some Chinese place.
Okay. My favorite kind of dates is like a movie and then just hanging out afterwards, because that way you have something for sure to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if you need to see a movie beforehand to have a topic of conversation, it's probably not gonna work out long term.
No, it's like a safety blanket. Like, you don't need to talk about the movie, but like if there's ever like you don't know what to talk about, you have something you can fall back on, Yeah,
I've gone on like first few dates to a movie, and I feel like it is just kind of incredibly awkward sitting next to a stranger in a setting like that, like a total stranger, but also you're kind of romantically interested in each other.
The other thing is, like, what movie are you watching that's out right now?
What movie are you watching? Yeah.
Are you taking somebody out to see Kraven the Hunter on the second date?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
No, I'm not doing that, but at some point by myself I want to go see the British 8 movie. I want to go see it.
I don't know what people keep talking about whenever they say the British 8 movie. I don't know. I
also have no idea.
It is a biopic of a British singer named Robbie Williams, who no one in America has ever heard of. And for no discernible reason, everyone is normal in that movie except for him. He's a CGI ape.
Tight, sick.
That fucks hard.
He was that way in real life.
And like everyone was looking at this and is like, this is going to be the stupidest fucking movie ever. But everyone I've seen posting about it is like, all right, you dumbasses, I'm gonna go see it. It's gonna be stupid. And then they like 3 hours later, they're tweeting like, oh my god, this was the best movie ever made.
That's awesome.
I do really enjoy when biopics get a little quirky with it. Like, I am excited to see the Pharrell Williams Lego biopic.
Yeah.
Okay, the Pharrell Williams Lego biopic strikes me as the complete opposite of this one, whereas like I've seen ads and like sequences from this one, from Better Man, and I'm like, this is actually catching my attention. I want to go see this. But when I've seen an ad for the Lego Pharrell Williams biopic, I have kind of wanted to throw up. And I cannot tell you why. I cannot tell you what the difference is, but there is something different. There's something...
You've lost your child like whimsy.
There's just something about that particular movie. First off, I hate the song Happy by Pharrell Williams.
I mean, every single person who worked in retail during the 2010s hates Pharrell Williams' song Happy.
But I also don't really know any other Pharrell Williams songs beyond the Daft Punk one.
You mean the Song of the Summer?
Well, that's the thing. I was vaguely interested in the idea of a Pharrell Williams biopic because he did a lot of like producing. That's his big thing is like a producer credits. And I think a biopic about somebody who does that is like, that's not something we really have. But it's also Legos. So it's probably going to focus on the element of his career that's mostly in music, which is fine. The man's got a decent catalog, but like that's not the interesting Pharrell Williams biopic I wanted to see,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know who Robbie Williams is. I've never heard a song of his in my life. I don't know why he's a chimp, but there is just something about that movie that draws me to it. And the Pharrell Williams biopic, I know who he is. I don't really know his catalog other than I know that I absolutely hate his biggest song. And there is something about that movie that fills me with dread and anger and rage.
Speaking of dread, anger, and rage,
let's get to today's sponsor.
So TikTok's being banned allegedly.
There's okay. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
but I was looking at news surrounding this, and now both the Biden administration and the incoming Trump administration are saying they are looking for ways to save it, which is hilarious because literally both of them are the reason that it is being banned in the first place. Trump tried to initiate a TikTok ban during his first term, and Biden signed the goddamn legislation banning it.
That's
and
awesome.
Now both of them are saying, actually, it's a bad thing to ban it.
That fucking rules. Because all the kids went to fucking Red Note.
I just love the thought that, like, Joe Biden desperately needs TikTok to stay around once he's out of office. Because then what else will he do with his remaining years on this blessed earth?
My God.
Do you think Joe Biden has ever opened TikTok in his life?
I think it's the only app he has ever used.
No, I agree. I think he's a big fan of the dance videos specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think that if you showed Joe Biden a TikTok that was like one of those like AI conversations between him and Donald Trump and Barack Obama playing Minecraft, he would think it actually happened.
And that's beautiful.
He'd be like, well, Jack, I don't remember having this conversation, but man, am I funny.
He would start talking about how it's been a while since he played Minecraft.
And that's beautiful.
And speaking of beauty,
that brings us to today's sponsor.
In honor of TikTok's alleged ban, I'm not talking directly about the banning. I have prepared for us a list of TikTok events that needs to be remembered in the event the app is destroyed.
In memoriam of TikTok.
What is a TikTok event? Are you just gonna play the audio of TikToks on this podcast?
Are you gonna cover every single TikTok trend?
No. I'm going to talk about a handful of trends, events, specific people, moments, just TikTok things that need to be remembered. I will also give a quick shout out. Before this episode, I double checked with a Discord I'm in about like things that would be important to include in this list. So I want to very quickly shout out friends of the show, Tally, Bender, and Mache and Comet. Those are the 4 people who gave me little things I should definitely be bringing up. So I said I'd shout them out, so I'm shouting them out. The first thing I gotta get to, and this is the thing that like I was reminded of, and I was like, okay, I know what I'm bringing to the podcast today. Are either of you aware of TikTok's Tunnel Lady?
No.
No.
So Tunnel Lady rocks. Tunnel Lady is one of my favorite TikTok people to ever do it.
Uh-huh.
The Tunnel Lady saga started when a woman living in like suburban somewhere woke up one morning and said, you know what my house needs? A bunker.
Sick.
I am going to start digging a tunnel out of my basement. So she did, and recorded TikToks of the process of her doing this.
That's like typical suburban behavior. I don't know what you're talking about.
People reached out to her and asked her if she had done, zoning, if she had talked with the, city council about it. She had no idea what they were talking about.
Oh, obviously not.
Obviously not. And in fact said it was her civil right to be able to dig this big stupid tunnel that's going to destroy infrastructure. So she dug her tunnel, kept on digging. By the time the police eventually caught up with her, the tunnel was like a good 50 feet deep into the earth. Bearing in mind she got that far using like a pickaxe she had bought on Amazon.
Oh.
And like setting up wood supports as she went.
The Amazon Basics pickaxe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She had intentions of eventually like reaching a point where she would build like a bunker apparently. And the last we have heard of the Tunnel Lady as of recording, and to my knowledge, was her filing to get the zoning laws approved for her to build this stupid ass tunnel and getting it. The city council has allowed her to continue to dig the tunnel.
Listen, we all have mole urges. It's fine.
So what I'm getting from this is like she just doesn't know about Minecraft, but like there's a natural human urge
To dig a hole.
to mine and craft.
No, literally, if you look at the pictures, you can Google search TikTok Tunnel Lady and you will see pictures. It looks like a 1x2. It literally looks like a 1x2 mining thing. It's so good.
The human urge to strip mine for diamonds.
Right, exactly.
I don't know if she's found any yet, but maybe
She's
she
probably
hasn't
not
gone
deep enough.
Mostly what she's found was like concrete, because she was digging into the foundations of her house.
What if she found Herobrine, though?
Oh, okay, no, I do know this lady. Now that I am looking at her, yeah, I'm aware of this woman.
That makes sense.
I would compare her less to a Minecraft child and more so like she is a mole woman. She wants to return to the earth.
She does desperately want to return to the earth. That is like, you can see it in her eyes. The way she talks to is great. She always
Wait, did you just say talks to us?
No.
Nope.
That's my favorite podcast other than the KZPG show.
I mean, yeah.
Enemy of the podcast.
We have a pretty good show, but Talk to Her, that's a really good show.
Friend of the show, Haley Welch.
Friend of the show. I love Hawk Tua. You took my life savings.
That's why we started the show. We needed some sort of income after losing all our money in, what was it, Hawk coin?
$ Hawk, yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of, the list is sort of disorganized, so I'm gonna try and just I'll go through the people I have. So, are either of you familiar with TikTok's chocolate statues guy?
No.
Is it the guy who does like chocolate sculptures?
That's what chocolate statues guy implies, yes.
My answer for all of these is probably going to be no.
That's fair.
I'm aware of his fucked up creations, his horrible homunculi.
Kiwi, these videos are quite the thing to see if you ever sit down and watch one. This guy will shape chocolate into a photorealistic image of an eagle before your very eyes, and by the end you're just like, fuck, how'd he do that? At what point did the chocolate mold itself into a bird?
I don't know. For me, there's specific moments in his process where I'm like, okay, I know what he's making. Though sometimes he makes a lot of very we'll say suggestive shapes that come together to form a bird.
There's a lot of situations, a lot of moments in his process of forming a bird where he briefly makes a penis.
So he's just a candy sculptor, but he's recording it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes. But he's really good at his craft.
I'll say he's also exceptional in the field of candy sculptors where he uses edible chocolate, not sculpting chocolate.
He's also really hot, but also has this disturbing look on his face at all times. That's sort of a permanent toothy grin that could be seen as charming, but to me just comes off as eerie.
Well, it's your instinctive prey instincts, your natural fear of predators.
Why does he have his teeth out at all times? It's scary.
Yeah.
That's your definition of very hot?
That's why I said sure.
You are a straight guy.
I disagree with you also.
Okay, but no, I can recognize when a guy is hot. This guy's a little scary.
He is a little scary.
He looks like an HR guy.
Oh God.
I don't even think he looks scary. He just looks like a normal guy to me.
He looks sinister. There's something.
It's because he has his teeth bared and you guys have prey brain.
Maury Guichon, if you are listening to this,
Guichon.
I mean no offense.
He wants to kiss you bigly on the lips.
I would prefer if he didn't.
He'd have chocolate on his lips. Think about that. You could have chocolate.
For free.
I'll pass.
Away. Haha.
The third person on this list really is an exceptional case. How do I approach this? So, Rome, right? Ancient city of Rome?
Sure, yeah. In Italy.
You think that's real, right?
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, there's a guy who doesn't believe in Rome. Is that where this is going?
Yes. The Rome Isn't Real girl was a brief main character of the website when she made her first post saying, all these historians are lying to you. They all secretly know that Rome isn't real, that it was just a circus put on by performers. And everybody was like, no, what? No, it wasn't. Here's a bunch of evidence. And she always had this perfectly smug tone to her voice whenever she was like, actually, that ancient artifact has paper print on it.
I adore historian conspiracy theorists, they're so fascinating to me
Yes.
because like it goes into the same connotations like flat earth conspiracy is like, oh, like the people in power are lying to you, they know the truth secretly and they're putting on like a fabrication to obscure the truth from you. And the thing it comes down to is, okay, let's say you're right, why are they doing that? What do they get out of it?
So that's the thing about the Rome isn't real girl. I don't think she is a. This is my conspiracy theory about the conspiracy theory. I don't think she was ever genuine about her claims. I do not think she was a real believer of the conspiracy she espoused. I think she was in fact a master class engagement baiter.
Yeah.
She was a harlequin that danced upon the stage and pissed the noble townsfolk off so much that she was able to feast on 1,000,000 thrown tomatoes.
A jester of the modern era.
I really hate that like modern social media has made it to where like we can't even believe in like the genuineness of like these crazy like conspiracy theorists. It's like back in the day, like these guys just had like a fucking ham radio. Like they were just broadcasting on some completely fucking unknown frequency and hoping to God someone would listen in. But it's like nowadays you can make a shit ton of money off of that. So it's like people are just saying shit for as engagement bait. They're just lying and saying they believe these crazy things because it gets a bunch of like rage clicks. And it's like it's not even fun.
It's not even that. Like, more people who are have more time to talk on this than I do. Like H Bomber guy did like a video on this in his like flat Earth video, where he talks about like why people buy into conspiracy theories. So it's not even just like hate watching. It is like some people do genuinely watch this because a lot of people like feel deep in their psyche that something is wrong with society, but they lack the knowledge or language to articulate what exactly is wrong to themselves. And so they look for answers. And there are a lot of very bad faith people who are willing to sell them wrong answers on purpose.
Yes. That's what I thought was so fascinating about Rome Isn't Real Girl. Because she was so good at giving the people who genuinely believe Rome isn't real a smug, quippy face they could rally behind.
I hate that it doesn't feel fun to like pick fights with stupid people on the internet anymore because now they're making money off of it.
Right. It's like
the jesters have made you part of their circus.
The jesters have incorporated the hate into the act. They have purposely flubbed lines such that there can be a fucking a heckler in the audience that they can retort with in exactly the way they know how to retort.
It's like any time like I see a fucking blue check just like posting like a hot take, which is usually just something like fucking like racist or misogynistic on Twitter. I'm like, oh, rents do.
Yeah, I love how often you'll see a post from a blue check account that's just like, I think Hitler was right, actually. Like they will just say those exact words. And it's like so clearly engagement bait, but
I love like the like the structure of the like rents due ass tweet, because like people fall for it every time and it's always the most obvious bait.
Yeah, legitimately bait used to be believable.
That's all it is now. Like there's no genuine haters on the internet anymore. Like
and it's all Elon Musk's fault.
It is. Like, if they couldn't monetize this shit, you would know they'd be posting this shit for the love of the game. But now it's because rents do, and it sucks.
People used to spread misinformation and mean it.
That is the thing. There is a large conspiracy element. I don't want to give Elon all of the credit for making conspiracies popular on the internet, because TikTok did a lot of legwork. TikTok did a lot of legwork to promote a bunch of conspiracy.
Oh yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is also to blame. Facebook walked so that Twitter and TikTok could run.
Yes, absolutely. The main two I have on my list remaining, besides from Rome Isn't Real, is people were doing Helen Keller denialism.
I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah.
That was endlessly frustrating for me.
As a Helen Keller fan.
As a Helen Keller fan, parentheses, autistic. It was deeply annoying to see like people being extremely ableist about the achievements of a disabled woman. Basically, vibes. Most of the conspiracy theory I saw were like, nah, there's no way, right? Like, it was just a vibes-based conspiracy theory posting. It was awesome. And the other big conspiracy theory was Tartarian Giant posting.
Pardon?
This is a conspiracy theory that in ancient times there were giants.
Sure. Classic.
They were swept away by the mud floods
Yep.
of Tartarus. But while they were around, those giants built the pyramids.
Yeah.
They carved mountains.
Yeah.
They did a whole bunch of shit.
Good for them.
But like a late TikTok thing you saw in any conspiracy circle was AI generated images of giants doing shit in history with captions like, "This is real. This is historical footage. This disproves this."
I remember exactly what you're talking about. I've seen those like threads.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're really good. A sort of modern permutation of just saying shit over an AM radio and using it with AI to make it suck even more.
I find like the conspiracy theories of like, oh yeah, a long time ago humans used to be big actually and lived with the dinosaurs who were also big. Like I don't understand the utility of like the big human conspiracy. I know like creationists tend to peddle it, but I don't understand why.
It's so I'm of two minds about it. I'll give you them both. One, it's a fascism thing. By making ancient humans bigger, stronger, and more physically important, we can have a prelapsarian human, and you can blame whatever thing you don't like on why we are small now.
I guess. The moral degradation, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. The other option is, this is gonna sound stupid as hell.
Normal.
But there is a fork of flat Earth thought involved in the firmament.
Yeah.
The idea that it's a dome Earth.
Mm-hmm.
There's an idea there that there used to be mega plants that were huge, but then they were chopped down by giants and left mountains, and then those like the remains like petrified.
Okay, yeah. Zoe, are you familiar with like the fake archaeology like misinformation TikToks and like YouTube shorts?
I mean, I get the gist.
They cover like a lot of this like same stuff of like, oh, this mountain actually used to be a giant tree.
Right.
It falls into the same like as like alien history or whatever fucking History Channel calls it, where it's like, oh, this thing has to have been built by aliens because it's too precise.
Right.
It's like ideas propagated by people who are just like deeply incurious about the world around them and are still trying to find explanations for things they observe.
Yeah. Which is like funny because that's how we came up with the idea of like gods and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's very silly.
Why the sky do that when it rains?
The human desire to narrativize existence.
Well, it's because we have pattern-seeking brains.
Yeah.
And it works to our disadvantage.
Anyway, I'm going to leave this dark period we've been in to move on to a section I just have labeled things I think are funny.
It's ambiguous.
It's ambiguous, but you'll see what I mean right away. Just starting off, do you guys remember Kia Boys and Devious Licks?
I remember Devious Licks.
I remember Devious Licks.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people remember Devious Licks, where the whole meme was, I am going to go into my high school and steal something.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty good. I think that's a funny bit.
Good bit, yeah.
I think it's funny when it's from, like, the school and not, like, your teacher's desk.
Yes, 100%.
Well, okay, if you steal the teacher's desk in its entirety, I think it's pretty funny.
That's funny.
That is funny, including all of the things on it.
I mean, what else would you do with them?
Right. Kia Boys were a very short-lived phenomenon that I was very familiar with because I happen to own a Kia. Because for a brief period of time, someone on TikTok figured out how to hotwire a Kia, break into a Kia, and steal it.
Mm-hmm.
So they made a meme about doing that.
Oh.
There was just a brief a brief couple week period where there was a funny meme of stealing someone's car.
Nice.
And it was like a legitimate security risk that Kia had to like shoot a hot fix to fix because so many people were doing it.
Okay.
Is this not another devious lick?
It is very much a devious lick. It had a different name. It was you were a Kia boy if you stole a Kia.
Okay.
It's pretty good. And by that I mean fuck.
I think it's funny. I think it's very funny for Grand Theft Auto to become an internet trend, and I don't mean the video game.
I think on a cosmic scale, it is funny to make a meme out of stealing someone's car. I do also think that I owned one of those cars that were being stolen, so I wasn't too thrilled about it in the immediate.
Okay, but imagine your car gets stolen and then you like open your fucking For You page and you like see the people that stole it, like you watch them steal it and post it on the internet. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
That would be pretty
but
funny.
It's another like example of like the fact that the modern day internet, so many people just like post themselves committing crimes and then they get caught for no reason other than they posted themselves doing it.
Right.
And it's like, come on. What happened to the art of committing crimes?
Yeah. We don't do it for the love of the game anymore.
You know, you used to worry about CCTV and shit. Like if you're like let's say you're trying to rob a bank. It's like you got to take out the cameras and shit. Like that's the obvious heist thing. But nowadays, I don't even think like stores need CCTV because the motherfuckers who are stealing are just going to record themselves doing it and post it on TikTok. Hashtag shoplifting? Like, what the fuck?
I need to talk about the Fairy Wars.
I remember the Fairy Wars.
I need to talk about the Fairy Wars now.
The what?
The Fairy Wars rock. So Kiwi, let me lay this out for you. So it started with people posting about being fairies as like a, cottagecore-esque like aesthetic thing, right?
Okay, sure.
And then people started posting about being fairy hunters. They had tools, equipment, traps, strategies. They were classifying the fairies. The fairies started, when they were killed, they dropped like items, and the fairies had powers depending on their type of fairy. And like, it kind of snowballed out into being like this whole lore.
This is r/outside.
Were the knights on the fairy side, or were the knights the fairy hunters?
I think the knights were the fairy hunters.
Okay.
This is straight up just r/outside. Like, that's what this is.
It didn't have the gimmick element. It didn't, like, it... Let me be very clear.
They're dropping items? What do you mean?
It was a magic thing. It wasn't that, like, they had loot drops. It was that, like, a fairy's essence turns into a bauble when it is defeated. And the bauble has powers associated with the type of fairy that was defeated by it. It was a magical world building thing and not a mechanical gameplay idea.
Yeah, I get killed and I leave behind a fucking can of Dr. Pepper. Like,
yeah? Well, I guess that makes you a Dr. Pepper fairy then.
I know like Gnome Talk also was involved in the Fairy Wars.
Yes.
Oh my god. I don't know what this means, but Jesus Christ.
There's it means what it sounds like. There was a community of gnomes on TikTok. Oh, Water Talk rocked. Water Talk was another one of those weird little communities.
Oh, I know Water Talk. I do know Water Talk.
You know Water Talk?
I know Water Talk.
Nyxie, are you familiar with Water Talk?
I don't know.
So Water Talk was this great thing. It was a whole bunch of people who were like, yeah, I drink water because it's healthy rather than soda.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would make videos where they have a giant cup, they pour in a plastic water bottle, they add one of those little sugar packets that makes it flavored in sort of like a candy, and then they'd pour in another. And then they pour in another, and then they'd add a Mio.
And then they'd add like edible glitter, and they do like the special like stirring thing to make it look pretty.
All while saying it's healthier than a soda. All while saying it is healthier than a soda.
At some point, that is no longer water.
No, it absolutely isn't. It is candy. And let me be clear about Water Talk. People were hard on the Water Talk people. If you want to have a treat, that's fine. You want to have a little candy? By all means. That shit is not healthy, though. That you are drinking water. You are drinking sugar.
I think it's fine if you want to be unhealthy. we live in America. You should be allowed, like, we principally believe that you should be allowed to be unhealthy.
The motto of this podcast, the motto of the podcast is who give a shit? Who give a shit? Do what you want, live your life forever.
But like, if you are positioning your beverage of choice, and at this point it is a beverage, it is no longer water.
Is water not a beverage?
No, a beverage is any drink that is not water.
Nixie definition.
No, that's a real definition.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay. The dictionary says a drink, especially one other than water, but especially means water still counts.
I don't think it counts like, why make the distinction if it doesn't count?
Okay, Merriam-Webster defines beverage as a drinkable liquid, and water fulfills that definition.
Well, that's Merriam-Webster, and they're an idiot bozo dictionary.
Okay, what dictionary do you want to go by?
Mine.
Where's that published?
My brain.
How many citations does it have?
A lot.
Okay, where is it cited?
In my brain.
We're getting off track. Let's just move on.
Another other tangent is New York Times shows up red with Shinigami eyes.
What the fuck do any of those words mean? None of those are in the Bible.
The New York Times? The New York Times is
The New York Times did not appear in the Bible.
I mean, that's fair, but that doesn't mean it's not real.
Kiwi, Shinigami Eyes is a Chrome or Firefox extension that highlights a company, person, or organization as red in their username if they have posted transphobic content.
I'm pretty sure the current New York Times is 8:48 p.m.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
It's 8:49 actually, bozo. Get right in your fucking Central Standard, whatever, your fake time zone.
I'm not in Central.
Fucking prairie time.
Do you think the time zone defines the minute?
Yeah.
The last funny one I have listed here are hostage situation duets.
Oh,
I know this one.
So TikTok as a platform has a feature called duets where you can reply to a video and it puts your video like next to it in a little corner. You can also sort of like move it around with some clever positioning. Hostage situation duets where they would have a video of a guy that's just his head and arms and another person, and they would extend things out using duets such that it eventually became an involved hostage crisis. It was maybe the most advanced, coordinated, and multi-person form of cyberbullying.
like, I find it like really fun and impressive narrative building around someone's like awkward, uninteresting video.
Yeah. Let me be clear. When I say it's cyberbullying, it's not really cyberbullying. It's just like, it's kind of light teasing combined with narrativizing something innocuous.
I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say it.
No, say it. Now you have to say it.
I was just gonna say, like, I really enjoy light teasing.
As opposed to dark teasing.
That's true. I also have two last points.
Jesus Christ!
You keep saying that.
This is the last 2 points for the whole TikTok section.
You've had like 45 minutes out of this podcast that normally lasts an hour.
You've had like 2 last points. I just want to say.
Okay, I'll strike off one of them.
You don't have to. I'm just saying.
No, go on. We can go long. I don't care. But
The conclusion for the bit. The best thing that ever happened on TikTok was a whole bunch of teenagers feeling sympathy to Palestine to such an extent that the United States of America that thought it was a threat to national security and threatened to ban the app multiple times.
Yeah.
that's not really the reason why, though. I mean, it's part of it. They didn't like that.
It's not really the reason. It was like a definitely like a motivating factor, but it's not the whole reason. The primary reason it's from China.
Yeah.
And the Republican Party is still stuck in Cold War era thinking.
Yeah. The primary motivator is xenophobia and bullshit, stupid words.
True.
But the fact that like an entire generation is now standing firm with Palestine, I think is pretty huge. You know, there's a lot to be critical about TikTok for. I think the fact that it has brought together a generation on that footnote, I think is a good thing. It is a net good for the world.
Oh, for sure.
There is so much I could go off on about this topic, but Jesus Christ, I'm not going to do that right now. That's another episode.
Yeah. And now that I've sucked up most of the podcast length, what's up with the dating apps, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that, and then like I got to mention like the dates that I went on, and then we didn't actually talk about that. But yeah, we can just go a little long. I don't really care.
What are your top 3 dating apps?
Number one, I mean, it's been interesting because I think it has fluctuated so much over the years. I first started having success. I first started in like 2018 when I was about 18.
So okay, I guess like what to you makes a good dating app?
One that works.
Interesting. What does that mean?
One that gives you matches and matches you with people that you are likely to like. And so
Okay.
I didn't really start getting success on dating apps until around 2020.
Mhm.
And in that era, I think Tinder was probably the most successful for me. I got the most matches on it. And then later on in like 21, now I was in like 22, 23,
24.
25?
20. No, I wasn't single in 20. So in 23, when I was single again, Bumble became the one that I had more success on, despite the fact that like my profiles are pretty much identical across all platforms. And nowadays, I have had pretty much absolutely zero success on Tinder or Bumble. Like everything I've gotten off is Hinge.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff about Hinge lately.
Yeah, Hinge seems to now be the it one, whereas like back in the day it was Tinder.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pose an alternative start for this conversation. I have never used a dating app.
Okay.
Which one would you recommend to me?
None.
They
all are horrible. If you are going to do one, Hinge, I'd say.
If you're going to try any, I would say stay away from Grindr.
Stay away from Grindr specifically.
Yeah, Grindr sucks.
I haven't used that one.
I can't imagine why you, cishet person Kiwi, would be uninterested in Grindr.
Believe it or not, we are going to get to this. We're going to get to this in a bit.
Oh, okay.
I've seen straight people on Grindr. Like, it's not impossible.
I don't think it's meant for that, though.
No, it's not.
But, okay. I'm going to tell you two a story, and apparently the whole internet, whoever's listening to this, that I have not told anyone, ever. And I say ever because this has happened in the past, like, 2 weeks anyway.
Sure.
But, okay. So I saw... I don't remember where I saw this. I think it was on Twitter somewhere. But I saw someone post, like, okay, so, like, the dating app algorithms, right? They have an ELO, right? You have an ELO on a dating app, like, based on how many people swipe right on you, and that kind of is a proxy for how attractive you are to other people.
Oh, like your ranking.
Sure.
And the higher your ELO, the more people you get shown to, and, like, the higher ELO people that you get shown, right?
Yeah, all those other podcasts about high value males and high value females.
Exactly. If you're a high value male, you're matched whatever the fuck. Yeah, if you're fresh and fit or whatever the fuck their names are, and you hate women, I don't know, you get shown the hot women. I don't know.
Something like that.
But okay, so the thing is, there's also this enormous disparity between men and women on dating apps. There are so many more men than women, probably like 5-to-1 or more ratio. And so as a man, you know, your odds of being seen by anyone, especially if your ELO is low, are like fuck all.
Sure.
And so a solution that I saw to that on Twitter was you just set it to where you're into everyone.
Okay.
You just essentially set it to bisexual mode. Because as a man, you are going to get a ton of likes from other men, and that's going to raise your ELO. And that way, you just swipe left on the men, you swipe right on the women. You're going to get shown to more women.
That's insane.
It's insane to metagame a dating app.
It's insane to metagame a dating app and have it be, like, necessary.
Yeah, okay, that's the thing, though, is, like, if you want to be successful on some of these, it is necessary. Either you have to pay for them, or you have to metagame it.
It's insane that I was born with a natural advantage in dating simply by being bisexual.
True.
Being a woman also helps.
What? That's sexist.
If you were on the dating apps, that's just a fact. But regardless,
I believe Nyxie was doing one of her classic jokes.
Yes, I know. I'm aware. But anyway, I will say, you either have to pay for it or you have to metagame, and they used to be somewhat affordable, but they've like doubled the prices in the past few years or something like that. So it's like, why the fuck would you do that? It's like, if you want to get like Tinder Plus or whatever for like 6 months, it's like $100. And it's like, what the fuck? So anyway, I didn't do this on Hinge. I did this on Tinder and Bumble. I turned on bisexual mode.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I've been single since mid 2024. So it's been about 6 months, right?
Sure.
So in about 5 months on Tinder, I had racked up like 3 likes. And on Bumble, I had 1 in that 6 months. And so I turned on bisexual mode for a week. And then I turned it back off. And on Bumble, I got something like 80 likes. And on Tinder, it's now stuck at 99 plus.
Nice.
Okay, real quick. Can I just say, Kiwi, you are the gay man, straight man.
What do you mean by that?
You have a look that appeals to gay men.
I'm aware. I have gotten unsolicited DMs before about this.
Kiwi, right now you have to tell me if you have been sent a dick pic or not.
I have not.
Damn.
I did get super liked on Tinder by a guy though. That has never happened.
Kiwi, I'm really curious what like genre of men you attract.
Kiwi, if I said, are there bears liking your account, would you know what I mean by bears?
I know what you mean. I have not paid that much attention to that.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But one thing I have noticed, and I genuinely think there are separate elos for separate sexes. Like
Separate rankings.
Yes, because it did not, like, I was getting obviously likes left and right from men. That did not help me at all.
Well, I mean, also like keep in mind like the disparity you mentioned, like by nature of the fact that there are more men on the app, you're going to get liked by more men.
Yes.
I mean, the theory of the ELO rating, right, is that after the period of bisexual mode, you will naturally get more likes. So, have you gotten more than the 1 in 3 in the period since you have disabled bisexual mode?
I genuinely don't know if I couldn't tell you. It's like, it doesn't divide the number of likes you get by gender, but it's like, if I had to guess, every single one of them was from men.
Even after you turned off bisexual?
Well, I don't know anymore on Tinder because it caps out at 99. Like, it doesn't tell you anymore.
Fair.
So, like, were you getting increased matches or just more likes?
Just more likes.
Okay, so the data is useless.
I got 1 Tinder match.
Cool.
With a man, or why did I say with a man? No, it's you. It would be with a woman.
I don't know when the last time I got a Bumble match was.
Damn.
I don't know the last time I've gotten a Tinder match.
Uh-huh. Someone who's been in a relationship for years.
I don't have a Tinder and haven't.
Right. My thing is just like, everyone talks about, like, I think especially men are talking about nowadays, like how the apps have gotten worse over the years. And like, it's hard for me to say like, oh, they're just coping. Like, I genuinely think they have.
I think you should still say they're coping while like acknowledging the apps have gotten worse, because I think it's funny to make fun of men who complain about how hard dating is a little. Not in the way that like you are, but like in like the, kind of toxic way.
Yeah, no, I mean, you come at it from 2 different angles. I am someone who goes on a lot of dates, but I recognize that these apps are complete dog shit.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I know other guys who don't date, and like, one of the reasons behind that is like, online dating is complete utter dog shit. And it's hard for me to blame them and say like, oh, you're just coping, because like, it does suck. It is bad for your mental health. Like,
yeah, like there is an element of this whole situation that does make me wonder, like, would men be better off if we went back to eHarmony,
Not to be like a super feminist sounding, but genuinely, I think what would help a lot of men is like the decentralization of like romantic relationships for like emotional fulfillment.
Yeah. And also not to be like a, hit the gym, start working out, forget about her.
But like take care of yourself,
Genuinely,
Like, don't rely on other people for your own fulfillment, but don't make relying only on yourself your entire personality.
Yeah, I think there's a line between like saying you need to be in a relationship to be fulfilled and then pathologizing the idea of wanting to be in a relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like a lot of people pathologize it and are like, "Oh, if you want to be in a relationship, that means you shouldn't be in a relationship because you're not good enough by yourself," or something like that. No. I think that's really stupid.
Like, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I entered my current relationship because I wasn't looking for one and just accidentally into a relationship. And I think like there's something to be said for like being at a point where you're not really looking for a relationship, you're just trying to expand your social circle, and from there like a romantic relationship forms.
I also just don't necessarily think that searching for a romantic relationship is a necessarily negative thing.
Oh, I'm not saying that it is.
Okay, yeah. But I feel like a lot of people do, for some reason, feel that way. And I'm just like, what? What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's like, I do know a lot of guys who just don't date at all. Because, like, it seems like dating apps are kind of the only option nowadays.
Yeah, we have kind of like passed the point of like going out to like hobby spots to meet potential dating partners.
Mm-hmm.
Because people don't like third spaces don't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. The modern American bar has changed substantially.
Yeah, it's now where people go to be sad after their fucking 12-hour shift at the office.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And like, you know, if you're into like tabletop gaming, game stores aren't really a place where people are going to look for love.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for the newest miniatures or trading cards.
Or they're looking for a +1 dagger.
But also, just in terms of the apps, it is just extremely strange to me how it has changed over the years, in that like my profiles are pretty much exactly the same across the apps, and yet for some reason I get matches out the ass on Hinge, but absolutely nothing on Tinder or Bumble anymore. Like, it's just theoretically, like in theory, these are all the same.
How like new is Hinge?
It's not. It's been around for almost as long as the others.
It's not? Okay. Cuz I feel obviously I haven't used or looked at what Hinge is like in like from a user end, but like I feel a big issue with like Tinder is it's like way too gamified, and it's very difficult to form meaningful connections when you're playing a fucking video game on your phone.
Okay, but here's the thing. All of them are exactly the same. There is no functional difference between Hinge or Bumble or Tinder.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I believe that Hinge and Bumble are owned and operated by the same company.
Awesome.
That's fucked. So they just got two of the same app in there?
The only difference between any of those apps is Hinge gives you fewer likes per day. So, I mean, one could argue maybe that's less gamified that way, but the way it operates is exactly the same. And, like, Hinge is just, like, it's just kind of a reputation thing. And the way it's presented, the branding, it's like Hinge is branded as the one that's more for a long-term relationship versus the other two.
Okay, that makes sense.
I will say, I think this is going to be, I don't know if I got the words to say what's in my head.
Go for it.
You are more appealing to a girl who wants a long-term relationship than a girl who's looking for a hookup.
See, okay, hold on. But remember episode 1, we literally talked about how I always end up falling in with women who just want to sleep with me and don't want to date me.
Yes, I am aware of that.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know how else.
How are both of these true? Like,
how are both of these true? One of the great mysteries of life.
I really appreciate that the episode I guessed on is the fucking dating advice episode.
After one of my long-term situationships and I broke up, I was on, I think it was Bumble, and I ended up matching with this girl, and on her profile it said she was looking for a long-term relationship, right? And, you know, we're talking and everything, and she asks me like, "Oh, what are you looking for?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm looking for a relationship." And then she just goes, "Well, I'm looking for a friend with benefits. Do you want to be my friend?" And I'm like, "What the?"
That's awesome. That rocks, can I just say?
Listen, at least she was straightforward with it.
Yeah, and I respect that. And did I take her up on it? Of course I did. But that's not the point. That's not what I was looking for.
That is an element to the equation here. Kiwi is, while you are appealing to the girl who wants a long-term relationship, you also bone down hard
Oh my
and
god, just
frequently.
kiss already.
But they don't know that. They don't know that. Is it just the vibe I give off? I don't know.
I can't give an answer to that. I can't in good faith answer the question.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole situation is just so strange to me. It's like, again, mechanically, all of these apps are exactly the same. And again, all of my profiles are pretty much exactly the same, and yet for some reason, I am just so much more successful on one than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing about it is all these apps are algorithm driven, right?
As every app is.
And the thing about algorithms is we don't really know how they work, even the designers of them, by the nature of how algorithms are built nowadays with machine learning and stuff. Like, the exact ones and zeros are unknown to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So how one works versus a different algorithm is basically down to complete random chance.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible that the reason why you're seeing more success on one relative to the others is just down to random chance.
I don't necessarily think it's random chance. I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. Like, I think the number of people and what the people on there are looking for. I do think the branding plays into it. It's a shot in the fucking dark at any point. The only reason I'm seeing success is because I've tried every fucking dating app under the sun, and it's like I just found the one that sticks.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for the inevitable future when dating apps are now managed by generative AI algorithms.
That'll be fun. Are y'all familiar with the Instagram AI profiles kerfuffle?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, Nyxiecat, this story rocks. It's like semi-related to the thing you just said about generative AI dating profiles. So Instagram had this really cool thing where they set up AI profiles. They just made hundreds of thousands of AI generated accounts where they would like post AI generated images with AI generated captions, with AI generated profile pictures.
Uh-huh.
And every single user had an AI generated duplicate of themselves.
Oh, cool.
An AI doppelganger exists somewhere on the platform.
An AI simulacrum.
Yes. Which is pretty awesome, if you ask me.
I genuinely don't know what the fuck happened to Mark Zuckerberg since the election.
Something got in his brain.
He's been so weird from day one, and it's fascinating to watch him as like a guy outside of the idea of like him as like the head of like Facebook/Meta. Like he doesn't do a lot of like the self-mythologizing that a lot of other like CEOs do, because a lot of that was done for him.
Yeah, but at the same time, like he was the villain of the social network, right?
Yeah.
He has a lot of mythologizing done, but a lot of that mythologizing is this guy is the most sucks ever.
He is a movie supervillain.
I will say, I saw someone post that, like, the way he's been dressing and everything recently gives off extremely, he is going to announce a divorce any day.
Oh, yeah. Fucking divorce incoming.
Didn't he already get divorced?
I don't think so. He's always been kind of a wife guy.
Yeah.
But I think that might be a thing, and then also I'm wondering if like maybe he just got mad that everyone was always talking about Elon Musk, that like maybe he just got jealous. I don't know.
From r/mark my words, Mark Zuckerberg is currently undergoing a midlife crisis. There will be a divorce within 3 years, and then lots of media coverage with him dating Instagram models and partying with Jake Paul.
Yeah, that's
pretty good.
Yeah.
We should do a Mark My Words episode of this podcast.
We shouldn't.
I feel like I'm bad at predicting shit like that, but I would try. I'd give it a shot.
It's really hard to predict effectively the way anything is going to go, especially now that seemingly, unless something tremendously bad happens in the next 4 years, the reign of Donald J. Trump is going to be over in 2028.
Yeah, but like, who do the Democrats put up in 28? And like, do they win?
I have no idea.
They're going to exhume the corpse of Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton's alive.
No, the Jimmy Carter. They'll exhume the corpse of Jimmy Carter.
Does Gavin Newsom beat JD Vance?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Because, like, going by, like, previous election trends, we're probably not going to get any, like, progressive radicals running against the Democrats or Republicans, because those usually pop up after, like, a Democratic term.
Oh, no. I've cracked the code.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
2028. JD Vance versus beloved Democrat turnover Ted Cruz. That's my prediction.
Fucking a Ted Cruz heel turn would be insane.
That would be really funny. Like, he's finally trying to get revenge for the fact that Donald Trump called his wife ugly.
I
Yeah.
have no politics, I just hate Donald Trump.
It feels like Bernie's going on a warpath and is trying to, like, carve out a second party.
He's been trying to do that for a while. But I think he is for sure fighting. Like, I am seeing, like, notifications from him, like, every day now.
Yeah, but, like, after this election, he just like he's trying to do something bigger than what he's done in the past, because, like,
He talked to Hassan Piker on stream.
He did. And it's like, he was like all in, let's go Kamala for the election, and then she lost, and he came out and was like, you lost because you actually are the fucking worst human being to ever walk this earth. Your campaign was shit. You are shit. I am personally going to kill you, you know? Shit like that.
Which, like, none of that's a lie.
Other than the I'm going to kill you part. I don't think Bernie would do that. I hope Bernie wouldn't do that.
I don't know, but he's campaigning hard for something for sure, and I don't know what.
But what? Who's the next Bernie?
AOC?
AOC is fine.
By 22, how old is she now?
She's not quite 35, I don't think.
Like, in terms of, like, somebody progressive leftists can rally around in government, like, it's Bernie and it's AOC, and Bernie's clock is ticking.
Oh, she is 35.
Oh, she is 35. Okay. There is the squad, but AOC is the one who's, like, the most politically savvy out of those three. Ilhan Omar is also pretty good, though.
Ilhan Omar is really good, but I cannot imagine.
No, she wouldn't win a presidential race.
No.
Simply, I think, based on the fact of being Palestinian, but...
Yeah. No, I've seen a lot of stuff with Ilhan. She's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah, she's great. Unfortunately, I have been texted that I have to hop on to work real quick.
Very cool. I think this is a good place to wrap up the podcast then.
Yeah, we've gone a little longer than usual anyway. It's been fun, though. All right, I gotta bounce, folks.
Bye, have fun. But it's a very fun meandering talk about kinda nothing.
I mean, that's the podcast. It's a podcast about nothing. And folks, we return to nothing at the end of the void. Good night.
No. I returned to the internet.
And now to emerge from my...
Oh yeah, I forgot you were under your desk.